Will the audience please rise?
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please remain standing for the national anthem?
Please be seated. Welcome, graduating class of 2014. My name is Dr. Mindy Seltzer. I am the Vice President of Instruction here at Jefferson College. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, the faculty, staff, and administration of the college, I want to welcome you to the 49th Annual Commencement Ceremony. Before we begin, I would like to introduce the platform party to you. From my left, your right, we have Dr. Ray Comiskey, our college president. Ms. Jennifer Collins Hansen, our distinguished speaker. From my right, Mr. Steve Meinberg, president of the Board of Trustees. Dr. Dina McCaffrey, Dean of Career and Technical Education. Dean Shirley Davenport, Dean of Arts and Science Education. At this time, I would like to introduce to you several special guests in our audience, located in the seating area to my left and front. Please stand when I call your name. Our speakers' parents, Bill and Becky Collins, State Representative Ben Harris, State Representative T.J. McKenna, State Representative Paul Whelan. Please welcome our special guests. We're very pleased that you could join the college for one of our proudest celebrations of the year, so thank you very much. The college would like to acknowledge a number of faculty and staff who are retiring at the end of the academic year. Ms. Victoria Brown, Mr. Larry Holden, Mr. Anthony McCauley, Ms. Mary Ann Schrader. We really sincerely thank you for your service to Jefferson College. Please congratulate them. At this time, we would like to acknowledge all of the veterans, all of the 2014 graduate candidates, students who are military personnel or veterans of the United States Armed Forces. Please stand and be recognized. We appreciate your service to our country. We're proud that you have chosen Jefferson College as the place to continue your education. We honor you and thank you for your service and congratulate you on your success. Now we'd like to recognize all military personnel and veterans in attendance today, all faculty, staff, and guests who are military personnel or veterans. Would you please rise? We thank you for your service to our country. Finally, we'd like to extend a special welcome to the families of the graduates. College students require considerable support, and the college recognizes that without the encouragement and sacrifices of family members, our students would not have achieved all that they have. Please stand and be recognized if you are a parent, grandparent, a brother, a sister, an aunt, an uncle, a spouse, a child, any relative of a graduate. Please stand. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you our college president, Dr. Ray Comiskey. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon. Eli Stevenson once told a graduating class, "When you leave here, don't forget why you came." I've had the opportunity to talk with many students over the last couple of years, and I asked them why they were here at Jefferson College. I've been impressed by those who knew why they were here, why their education was important, and what they plan to do with their lives. So with that in mind, let me share some of the information they gave me about their lives after Jefferson College. Eric Leonard plans to get some experience in the HVAC industry before he starts his own heating and cooling company. He hopes to bring his knowledge of construction, his ability to communicate with others, and the skills and knowledge he has acquired at Jefferson College together and provide services beyond what most people expect from others in the industry. Edward Chisholm will also be working in his chosen field of study, heating and air conditioning, plus maybe more education at Webster University. On another note, Edward says he's proud of his son, Richard Chisholm, who will graduate from the CNC program at Jefferson College today. As Edward said, "I'm proud of him." And well, you should be, Edward. Jocelyn Rich says she is really going to miss Jefferson College. She says she not only has Jefferson College expanded her education, but she has also met some very nice students and instructors during her 2.5 years at the school. Jocelyn says she plans to find a job as a medical administrative assistant as soon as possible. Aaron Chensmo and his wife Heather lived in Minnesota before he was laid off from his job at the Ford Motor Plant there, a job he'd had since dropping out of high school his senior year. Aaron accepted a separation package from Ford and moved to Festus to make a better life for his family, which by then included their first child. As he struggled to find any kind of work, Aaron found he was, quote, overqualified for most of the positions he applied for and decided to go to school while his wife worked. He says getting by was a nightmare struggle, nearly losing their house on 3 different occasions, going to food pantries on a regular basis, scrounging change for gas to get to school and work, and using food stamps for a short time. Life started turning around for Aaron and his family when he applied for a peer tutor position at the college. After a year of peer tutoring, Krista Gear and Carrie Bruce offered Aaron the opportunity to be their teaching assistant for the Mo Health Wins program, and he later was offered a part-time position in the CIS curriculum. Aaron is planning to earn a BS in Network Design and Administration and says he cannot thank the faculty and his family enough for all their support through the difficult times that they went through while they were starting over. Aaron noted that the computer support option has opened doors that he never imagined, and Krista Gear, David McNair, and Carrie Bruce reignited his thirst for knowledge and his ability to dream big. Aaron says that although he's not sure if he could, quote, thank you, if that would do justice to how proud he is to call himself a Viking, he wanted to anyway. So, quote, thank you, Jefferson College, and keep on lighting fires in the minds of generations to come, end quote. Ashley Seabury and Leslie Pernew both plan to stay close to home, transferring to Barnes Goldfarb School of Nursing to earn their BSN degrees. Siobhan Stevens is thinking about coming back to Jefferson College to earn a business degree. And Nicole Barini will be attending the nursing program here at Jefferson College. Another nursing student, Kelly Ferris, completed her LPN last summer and is now graduating with an AAS degree and an RN certificate. She will transfer to Central Methodist University to earn her BSN. Kelly says that, quote, there have been a lot of bumps in the road with the nursing program, but I'm glad I stuck it out. Kelly went on to explain that her husband was an instructor medevac pilot for the Army and then an intelligence officer at NGA before his disability progressed. Seeing the deterioration of his condition, she knew she had to go back to complete her nursing degree. She says she is thankful for all her husband has done for her. Now she can make life easier for him. She also says having the night and weekend nursing program made that possible. Joyce Geiser will be operating her own photography business called Enjoy Photos. It will be a part-time business at first with the goal of going full-time within 2 years. She will maintain outside employment while growing her business. Joseph Lang Jr. says his experience at Jefferson College has been memorable. He says the education that he has received was outstanding and it has prepared him for the future. Joseph notes that he will graduate with honors as a member of Phi Theta Kappa and the National Technical Honor Society. Joseph plans to further his education as well as continuing to work hard. Currently, he holds 2 jobs. Joseph has been accepted into the Legal Studies program at Webster University. He plans to become more active in the student community and campus there, and his future plans include a master's degree in legal studies from Webster. Jane Graff said that after being affected by downsizing at Anheuser-Busch, she decided to follow in the footsteps of her late mother, her sister, and her 2 children to pursue a career in nursing. She is graduating with honors from the college's ADN program. She has accepted a graduate nurse position with Parkland Health Center in Farmington, and she is also enrolled in Central Methodist University's Bachelor of Nursing program. Jane said her journey has been full of hard work and sacrifices, but it has been a rewarding one. She's on the Dean's List, a member of the National Technical Honor Society, and a member of the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. Jane says she is quite proud to have earned her nursing degree from Jefferson College, and she is excited to navigate through the next steps of her journey and celebrate with her family. Margaret Shelton says she enjoyed being a student at Jefferson College. Although she began her education after graduating high school, life got in the way. She got married, had 2 children, and supported her husband while he served in the United States Air Force and earned a PhD. Unfortunately, she lost her job when the economy took a downturn and she decided to go back to school. She says when the first grades came in, she was shocked at how well she did. After 2 semesters, she was inducted into the Honor Society. Margaret said, quote, "If someone asked me how I did it all, my answer was, I can't quit and I have to make good grades because I wouldn't be able to fuss at my children. If I didn't make good grades, then I couldn't easily expect them to." Margaret thanks her instructors, her department chair, and administrative staff for all the assistance they have given her, and says her plans for the future are wide open and she can't wait to start. Jody Kraft says that she appreciates the staff at Jefferson College. Jody says she was not a typical Jefferson College student, transferring from Ohio State to Jefferson College with plans to transfer to UMSL. She says the first time she realized that college was special was Christmas of that year when she found herself a divorced single mother with no money. She says the advising office and the student government purchased Christmas gifts for her entire family, unbeknownst to her. As Jody noted, I've attended many universities and never had I seen such an outpouring of kindness on a personal level with a student. Jody left for UMSL in 2010 and 11, only to return to Jefferson College again during the fall semester of 2011. Her family faced tragedy and her health slowly began to turn for the worse. Jody notes her professors encouraged her to continue school, staying in contact after the semester to check on her well-being. This time she promised herself she would graduate before her eldest daughter to reinforce the importance of education. Her daughter is scheduled to graduate in 2015. Jody says, quote, "In these final semesters, I've been surrounded with nothing but short of exemplary professors. Professor Rick Haynes pushed me to the academic limits. His class was by far the most challenging and rewarding class I've had in my college career. Professor Lyle went out of his way to help me with anything I needed. I let him know about the medical issues I was facing and my fear of history, and he did everything possible to make sure I had a firm understanding of the material. This semester, 1 week after receiving my cap and gown," Jody went on, "I became ill in the middle of my statistics exam with Dr. Barasevic. I was disappointed in myself and knew I had bombed the exam. The office apparently called an advisor, Stacy Wilson, to come calm me down. Ms. Wilson implored me not to drop the class and let her help me. My CIS professor, Joanne Williams, saw that I was ill and told me not to worry about class. She would work with me. I tell you all this to inform you that in 16 years and $66,000 of student loans and multiple universities under my belt, Jefferson College made it worth every penny. I will never be able to properly thank Professors Haynes, Lyle, Barasevic, Martin, and Williams, Stacy Wilson, or the wonderful ladies in the office and at the front desk. Jody will be attending Missouri Baptist to obtain a Bachelor of Behavioral Science degree, eventually earning a graduate degree and licensure in counseling. Her goal is to counsel children and families dealing with a family member with mental illness." Wow, that's a powerful story, Jody. Thank you for sharing it with us today. I also want to take a moment and thank the faculty and staff that Jody mentioned, as well as those who were not mentioned, but no doubt had an impact on Jody's experience here at Jefferson College. Her story is a great reminder of the real reason we are celebrating student achievement here today. These students represent a small portion of the success and accomplishments of our student body. Let me tell you a little more about our graduating class. We are awarding 743 degrees and 157 certificates to 875 students. 3% of our students are earning multiple degrees. Our oldest graduate this year is 63 years old. Our youngest graduate is 17. 250, or 29% of our students, are graduating with honors. 480 are receiving a baccalaureate-oriented degree or associate degree. 420, or 47%, are receiving a vocational technical degree or certificate. 152 students are Phi Theta Kappa. 30 students are honors programs graduates. 66 students are earning their certificates with distinction. 109 students are earning their degree with cum laude honors. 47 students are earning their degree with magna cum laude honors. And 14 students are earning their degrees with summa cum laude honors. To give credit to these students is also to give credit to the dedicated faculty and staff who have prepared and challenged our students to be competitive in the classroom and on the athletic field. At this time, I ask that our faculty and staff stand. Would you join me in acknowledging them, please? Thank you. It is a tradition at Jefferson College's commencement for the Board of Trustees to greet the graduates and guests. It is now my honor to introduce Mr. Steve Meinberg, President of the Board, to give today's greeting. Steve?
Good afternoon. As representative of the Board of Trustees, I would like to congratulate today's honored graduates and welcome their family and friends along with faculty and staff. As you know, Jefferson College is celebrating its 51st anniversary this year and was the first community college in the state of Missouri. Today you are members of its 49th graduating class. The first graduation had less than 30 students. You will join the ranks of over 25,000 students or graduates since then. We're very proud of your accomplishment and that you have chosen Jefferson College to further your education. We are glad that Jefferson College has played a role in attaining one of your life's goals. We hope that we have more than adequately prepared you for your next step of either higher learning or a career. We're a community college, and we hope we have served our community well. We also very much appreciate you, our community, for supporting Jefferson College as their main source for higher education. Well, this is your day. It's your day to remember as a benchmark in your life journey. Again, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, thank you and congratulations to the class of 2014.
Thank you, Steve. It is now my privilege to introduce our guest speaker. Jennifer Collins Hansen is an attorney and the owner of the Hansen firm, which is dedicated to serving the interests and individuals of small business owners. Ms. Hansen was born and raised in Barnhart, and she is a 1994 graduate of Windsor High School and a 1996 graduate of Jefferson College. Ms. Hansen completed her undergraduate degree in English Literature from Missouri State University in 1998 before moving to Washington, D.C. to work as a press secretary for Linda Chavez, nominee for Labor Secretary in the Bush administration. She returned to St. Louis to attend law school and received her law degree from St. Louis University in 2004. Before opening her own law firm, Ms. Hansen was a litigator at a large St. Louis firm. Ms. Hansen lives in Brentwood with her husband and son. Please welcome Jennifer Hansen.
Thank you, President Comiskey, members of the Board of Trustees, professors, faculty, staff, family and friends, and graduates. 18 years ago, almost to the day, I sat exactly where you're sitting, as a graduate of Jefferson College and I listened to a speaker talk to us about success. In the 18 years since, I've given a lot of thought to what success means. What do I do to get it? How will I know when I become a success? And is it even something that's worth pursuing? My hope today is that you leave with at least one thought you can relate to, argue about, or chew on. I'm going to try to steer away from meaningless platitudes like follow your bliss, or if you find a job you love, you will never work a day in your life. Instead, and if you'll bear with me, I'd like to tell you about what I've seen out there being done by people who are smarter and wiser than I am. Then it's your choice. You can emulate it if you wish. You can reject it entirely. But I'd urge you to give it some thought and decide what you think success means and whether it's something that you care to pursue and how you intend to pursue it in your life. Along the way, from where you're sitting to where I'm standing, I've had the good fortune to observe a lot of successful people. And what I've learned is this: successful people are not successful because of the amount of money they make. They aren't successful because they hold a powerful or prestigious position. They're not successful because of the size of their house, the kind of car they drive, or how pretty their wife is. Success, as far as I can tell, really occurs in spite of those things. Now, it's not to say that some of the successful folks out there don't have all or at least some of those attributes, but the real common thread that I've observed among successful people is very simple. Successful people are those people who figure out what their purpose is, and then they do it. That's it. Nothing more than that. Okay, so what does that mean? Find your purpose? Isn't that just an empty platitude like follow your bliss? No, I'd argue that it means exactly what it says. Every person in this auditorium, you graduates, your family, friends, professors, each of you has a purpose. How do you figure out what your purpose is? I think some people, and maybe even most people, never figure out their purpose. And that's because it takes a willingness to consider that purpose is not linked to income, money, prestige, or power. The successful people I've come across in life have included a stay-at-home mom, a factory worker, a politician, a small business owner, a teacher, an artist, a waitress, and a minister. Purpose is simply this: realizing that there are things out there that make you content and pursuing those things. Not every person finds contentment from his or her job, and frankly, I think it's a slap in the face to good people everywhere when we're told that if we don't like our jobs, it's our fault, or that we have a responsibility to follow our passion. I think that's really short-sighted. Let me give you a little bit of my background, which President Comiskey gave to you before I got up here. I am a Jefferson County native, and I grew up in Barnhart. My parents still live there. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. And I graduated from Windsor High School and got to go to college thanks to Jefferson College. I will forever be indebted to this place because it gave me the opportunity to get my start. After I graduated here with an Associate of Arts degree, I transferred to Missouri State University on a community college transfer scholarship. That scholarship allowed me to get my bachelor's degree in English, and it gave me the opportunity to study abroad in London, which is something that I never thought I'd have the chance to do. After college, I moved to Washington, D.C., where I was a press secretary for Linda Chavez, and I came back here to go to school at St. Louis University to get my law degree. I graduated there in 2004. I've been in private practice at a large law firm, and I opened up my own firm. I help people, I help small business owners. And when I tell you all of this, I guess it sounds kind of impressive, but I also need to tell you this. To get there, I worked as a waitress, a tutor, a wedding singer, a clerk at a bookstore, a beauty shop, a copy girl at a law firm, and I can tell you I was the worst one they ever had. And I did a bunch of other strange and weird and wonderful jobs. I lived at home with my parents. I lived with unsavory and terrible roommates. In DC, I actually lived in somebody's converted garage. I took my lunch from home. I bought secondhand clothes. I took the bus. The point is, I didn't always derive my purpose from my job, and that's perfectly okay. My sense of purpose came from figuring out that for me to be happy, to be content, to be successful, I needed to help other people solve their problems. Sometimes that took place at church, other times it was a volunteer opportunity, and as a lawyer, I get to do that pretty much every day. But no matter where I've been, professionally or personally, I've always felt if I was feeding that purpose, I was happiest and most successful. So your purpose can be your family, it can be your community, your faith, and yes, it can be your job. Look for it and figure it out. You'll know that you found it when you're content, despite or in spite of all of the other stuff in your life not going the way that you expected. A very successful lawyer I know told me he knew he found his purpose in life, which was doing prosecutorial work, when he could just lay his head down on the pillow and sleep well at night. That's it. My friend Jorge found his purpose when he quit his big-time corporate job and decided to become a writer. He says he gets to see his family more now, and that's made all the difference in the world to him. It turns out his purpose is derived from his family, his wife, his kids. So, how do you find your purpose in life? I really think it boils down to three things. First and foremost, remember who you are and where you came from. I will always, no matter where I go or what I do in my life, I will always be Jenny Collins from Barnhart, Missouri. And as glamorous as that sounds, believe me, there was a time when I thought it was a little embarrassing. When I lived in Washington, D.C., most of my colleagues were Ivy League graduates from very important families. I had a tendency to be embarrassed or ashamed of not being as worldly or as fancy as those around me. I was also nervous that I'd be found out. If I didn't act in just the right way, everyone would know I was a phony. And that thinking really held me back. Eventually, I got over myself. I looked at who I was, where I came from, what my family raised me to be. My parents taught me how to persevere. They taught me what it meant to have a good work ethic and to be proud of my work, whether I was waiting tables or giving an interview to the Washington Post. Once I looked at who I was and where I came from as a strength rather than a weakness, I gained momentum. And the successful people I know come from a multitude of backgrounds. Some are privileged, some have struggled beyond belief. But they've been true to themselves, they're authentic about who they are, and they're proud of where they came from. And that alone has earned them the respect, admiration, and deference of their colleagues. Now, I don't claim to know each of your backgrounds, but I'm here to tell you that no one knows more about who it is to be you than you do. Never, ever, never use your background as an excuse for not taking chances, for not trying your absolute best every time, and for thinking that something you want is not meant for you. You need to take advantage of your unique upbringing, your quirks, the failures you've had, your happiness, your heritage, your crazy family. It's going to be the best thing about you, and it's the best thing you've got going. You always, always remember who you are and where you came from. Secondly, make sure that you derive your satisfaction from the process, not the result. This was a concept that was very difficult for me to learn. Since we're kids, we're taught about making and reaching goals. It's supposed to be an easy concept. You set a goal, you figure out what steps you need to take to get there, and then you chart your course. The problem I had with goal setting was this, and I suspect that maybe some of you have it too. You get so focused on reaching your goals that you lose sight of the living that you're supposed to be doing in the meantime. In other words, remember this, a goal is simply a result. It's an accomplishment for sure, but that's all it is. Our actual lives are measured by what we do in the present. When I was a student here, I read a book called The Eden Express, and I hope it's still in the library because it's a great, great book. It has to do with hippies, frankly, and this gentleman who graduated college in the 1970s decided to start a commune with his girlfriend, his dog, his buddies. I believe there may have been some drugs involved in that decision. The problem for our narrator is that he also suffered from a mental illness, and it challenged his path for a long time. He eventually was treated, became a pediatrician, and wrote this memoir. And you'd think he'd have the tendency to be bitter about the hand that life dealt him, or at least be short-sighted about it. But instead he said this, "It is better to travel hopefully than it is to arrive." I'll repeat it. It is better to travel hopefully than it is to arrive. You know what? It is. I get that. I get that now at least, and I hope that you do too. Don't you lose the forest for the trees. Life is what happens in between our biggest accomplishments. Life is the day-to-day grind. It is not all great. There will be stumbling blocks, you're going to have failures, you're going to see obstacles, and you're going to have multitudes of challenges. But there will also be love, there'll be sweetness, and you'll have moments of real happiness. And I implore each of you to work really hard on taking your satisfaction, not from the meeting of an arbitrary goal, but instead from your daily efforts. Get your satisfaction from the mundane aspects of your life. Get your satisfaction out of the doing, not the result. And finally, and this one really is the most important, help other people. I almost feel silly talking about this because it's a no-brainer. Of course we should help others. I can't imagine anyone in this auditorium would disagree that it's a good idea to help other people. But that's the distinction I see between successful people and those who just don't get it. Everyone agrees that it's a good idea to get out there and help other people, but the successful people are the ones actually doing it. And so why does it matter? Why are we even going to actively help others? Well, I'll give you two very good reasons for it. First, we do not live in a vacuum. We do not live in isolation. For better or worse, we are all in this thing together. Therefore, it's imperative that we look out for each other. Piggybacking on what I said earlier, you should focus on the process of helping other people and not the end result. It doesn't matter if you believe the person to be deserving of your help. It doesn't matter if you're afraid of the recipient of your help won't be properly grateful. It doesn't matter. You do the right thing because it's the right thing, period. And secondly, and maybe more selfishly, help others because it helps you. There is nothing that gives you better or more instant perspective than helping another person. My dad set a shining example of this when I was a kid. We didn't have a lot of money sometimes, and we sometimes had our struggles, probably like a lot of you, but it never stopped my father from helping other people. If we passed someone's car broken down on the highway, we stopped, my dad fixed it. If he heard that someone was having trouble buying groceries or paying their electric bill, my dad was on it. He did these things because he's a hero. He's a really good man. But I got to take away the value of knowing that my problems weren't as bad as I thought they were. And no matter how rough things were for me, there are people out there fighting bigger and uglier battles. And really, isn't that the whole point? You know, the successful folks among us, they make it a lifestyle to constantly be on the lookout for ways to help. I'm not suggesting that we all leave here together and join the Peace Corps, but what I am saying is that when we are mindful of other people and their needs, we're more connected to each other. And sometimes the best way to examine yourself is to interact with others when they need it most. So there you have it. Successful people get out there and they find their purpose in this world, whether it's from their work, their family, faith, community, or a combination of those things. Successful people are proud. They are proud of where they came from and who they are. They know that they are the sum total of their family's dreams, hopes, and values. Successful people live in the moment. They get satisfaction from the process, not the end result. And above all other things, whenever possible, successful people help others. When I look around this auditorium, I can see how proud your friends and your family are of your accomplishment. And in fact, over here, there are two gentlemen with shirts that say, "My mom goes to college." And they should be proud of you. It's rightfully so. As much as I'm honored to have had the opportunity to talk to you today, I'm also a little envious. And that's because nothing could be better than sitting where you are right now. Each of you, every one of you, has the tools, the skills, and the velocity to get out there and make your lives full and purposeful. Don't let anyone or anything stop you from that. Congratulations to you, class of 2014. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. And now for the reason we are here.
All candidates for certificates will please rise. Dr. Comiskey, these candidates, having completed the requirements established by Jefferson College for their respective certificates, are recommended by the faculty to you for their award.
In accordance with this recommendation and by the authority of the Board of Trustees, I award to each of you the designated certificate to which you are entitled.
Candidates will please come forward to receive their certificates. Megan Colleen Bondurant, certificate with distinction. Thomas J. Brock, certificate with distinction. Edward Z. Bueller. Tyler Vincent Coleman. Andrew Cowan. Gary Wayne Davis. Eric Clark Dowell, certificate with distinction. Ann Iposi. Adam Corey Esmeyer. Amy Marie Gibson. Cody S. Goki. Thomas Michael Herbert, certificate with distinction. Regina Marie Harrington. Michael P. Hogan. Mary Ann Husky. Skylar Blaine Johnson, certificate with distinction. Aaron Chensmo, certificate with distinction. Kevin R. Light II, certificate with distinction. Karen Linweddle. James Mugley, certificate with distinction. Lucy Lynn Malujan. Arvin McGonigal, certificate with distinction. Barbara M. Minogue. James Christopher O'Day, certificate with distinction. David L. Pappen, certificate with distinction. Melanie J. Pate. Alan Blaine Pickett. Brandon L. Prater. Nicholas Glenn Pruneau. Dawn Marie Reeton. Tyler David Robichaud. Robert Edward Rourke. Michael Thomas Sayers, certificate with distinction. Amy Marie Schulte. Paul Stetcher, certificate with distinction. Joseph T. Stevens, certificate with distinction. Savannah Weber, certificate with distinction. Zachary Thomas Warsham. Daniel Christopher Strickland.
Let's give our certificate awardees one more round of applause.
All candidates for the Associate of Applied Science will please rise. Dr. Komisky, these candidates, having completed the requirements established by Jefferson College, are recommended by the faculty to you for their associate's degrees.
In accordance with this recommendation, and by the authority of the Board of Trustees, I confer upon you the Associate of Applied Science degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto.
All other candidates for degrees will please come forward to receive their diplomas. The second row of candidates will now approach the stage. All other candidates may be seated until they are directed toward the stage. Alex Banthongsak, magna cum laude. Brooke Barker. Jennifer Renee Bast. Jenna Price Bickle. Zachary Bollinger. Brian E. Boyette. Nathan Brown. Crystal Lynn Burnett. Kelly S. Campbell. Andrew Chapman Sr. Mark D. Chapman. Edward Chisholm, cum laude. Richard Chisholm. Diane Clack, cum laude. Sarah Marie Clark. Tina Renee Clifford. Paige Mercedes Coleman. Kelly A. Cook. Caleb Cox. Justin Keith Croft. Cheryl L. Deal. Jennifer Melissa Dillander. Ashley Elizabeth Drum. John Duncan, magna cum laude. Tyler Eaton. Danielle M. Elliott. Heather Ann Urson. Audra Kathleen Ferguson. Olivia Ann Fisher. Candace Rose Fleeg. Daryl L. Flora Jr. Joyce Geyser. Travis Gimmel. Natasha Lynn Goldsberry, cum laude. Jane Elizabeth Grass, magna cum laude. Stacy Grubel. Kevin Gugliano. Ashley Ray Hager. Megan Lynn Hall, cum laude. Kenneth Michael Haynes. James Dylan Hartman, cum laude. Devin Hettenhausen. Jennifer A. Hying. Dawn Marie Haney. Shauna D. Hudman. Megan M. Hunsberger. Shannon Ida, certificate with distinction and cum laude. Samantha Joanne Italiano. Jennifer Louise Johnson. Andrew Stephen Kennedy. Michelle Katimi. Amy R. Karajanis. Dana Lynn Kanegi. Dawn Marie Kerperine. Jessica Marie King. David Daniel Kircher. Teresa Marie Kowaleski. Aaron Joseph Kriska. Autumn Ann Krupp. Jenna S. Keene, magna cum laude. Amanda M. Kula, cum laude. Joseph M. Lang, Jr., cum laude. Eric S. Leonard. Madeline Marie Leonardo. Nathan Jamieson Lewis. Jessica Lynn Lucas. Rebecca F. Lubers. Chantel Marie Lumley. Robert Luna. Andrea Marion. Jean M. McCoy. Keith McFarlane. Lacey Lynn McLean. Carolyn A. McNeely. John McWhorter. Caitlin B. Meyer. Heather Ann McDermott, cum laude. Stephen Mitchell. Ryan Stephen Milnarick. Daniel Modlin. David Wayne Mollard II. Cynthia M. Murray. Lance S. Navoy. Elizabeth L. Nichols. Bradley Michael O'Donnell. Nancy L. Phillips. Tom Polite. Kelly Renee Prince. Matthew Lee Pyle Jr. Shanna Nicole Quinn, cum laude. Milorad Radonik. Rachel Jane Ramsey. Felicia Dawn Rawls, cum laude. Evie Marie Rail, magna cum laude. Dino Redsick. Julie Reed. Jocelyn L. Rich. Tyler Richardson. Tara M. Roberts. Rhonda Renee Resch. Don Roll. Steve Rose Jr. Carenza Scanlon, cum laude. Stephanie M. Schmidt. Shannon M. Schnabel. Caitlin Marie Schnoes. Crystal M. Schoenberg, magna cum laude. Christopher M. Scott. Bobby C., cum laude. Anthony W. Schaefer II. Brittany Charley, magna cum laude. Margaret Kaiser Shelton. Emily C. Short. James Sims. Jonathan D. Stevens, magna cum laude. Elisa Stoops. Vonda Teft. David W. Trelogan. Michelle Marie Toomey, cum laude. Timothy James Walter. Dawn M. Warner. Elizabeth Watkins. Courtney Weber. Matthew J. West. Marion Kathleen Williams. Nicole S. Wrinkle. Heather Wynn. James Edward Dale Young, magna cum laude.
Let's give our Associate of Applied Arts students a round of applause, please. Not quite done yet. Each year, associate degree students who graduate with the highest scholastic standing are acknowledged for outstanding scholarship achievement. This year's recipients have a perfect 4.0 grade point average. Outstanding scholarship recipients, will you please rise?
Please approach the stage in one line and come forward as I call your name. The recipients of Outstanding Scholarship Achievement are Jason Paul Boyette, Kevin W. Gobble, James J. Maines, Susan Saradich, Nicholas O. Valentine, and Robert Allen Voss. Congratulations to the Outstanding Scholarship Achievement recipients.
Would the graduating class please stand? Please turn your tassel from the right to the left, signifying you are a 2014 graduate of Jefferson College. Ladies and gentlemen, I present the class of 2014. Please be seated. We would like to thank everyone for coming today. A special thanks to all our students, parents, family, faculty, staff, and friends. Please remain at your seats until the recessional is over. There is a photo backdrop in the lobby with the Jefferson College logo that families may use for personal photos. Class of 2014. All of us at Jefferson College are proud to have had the opportunity to teach you and to learn from you. As you continue your journey, it is our hope that your experiences at Jefferson College have inspired you to continue to learn and share your knowledge, and inspired you to pursue your goals with confidence and optimism. Good luck to each of you. Congratulations, class of 2014.
Thank you.